Hello, sellers. It's Kathy, and I love to be selling. Come on in, come on in, come on in. I'm going to talk about super important topic for sellers and sellers of all levels. And that's about using the new USPS Ground Advantage, which rolled out this fall. I'm going to date this. This is September. Yeah, see that one? September 2023. And like in the past month or so, USPS consolidated. Hi, Sharon. Good to see you. Consolidated several services into USPS Ground Advantage. And I'm getting right to it because I want to cover several things about it. So that's what we're using now. Okay. I have found it's very good. But, and there's some caveats, and that's what I want to talk about with you, because I don't want you losing money, and I want you to make as much from your eBay sales as possible. And part of that is mastering shipping. In fact, I was meeting with two people from eBay.com this morning, and we were talking about eBay shipping and how important it is for sellers to understand the choices that they have, because eBay has negotiated some very good rates for sellers. And oftentimes what you'll do is you're so used to priority mail, or you're so used to now USPS Ground Advantage, you don't look at the other things. I want to bring it up, particularly for newer sellers returning to eBay. So you might be used to certain things and you just don't even check out other things. Sharon says she's happy with Ground Advantage. Good. I'm so glad it's a fit for you. But some other things just to keep in mind, because anything you can save on shipping, particularly for my sellers that do free shipping, okay? So when I'm offering free shipping to my buyers, which can be a great choice to make, is if I can then save 50 cents or $1 in the shipping. So I'm giving you the service, I'm giving you Ground Advantage, or I'm giving you something comparable. But if there's another service that's comparable, that's less expensive, I just made more money. It's called your profit margin. So you have your cost of good, how much you're paying for your item. Your cost of your shipping is also an expense, and then your eBay fees. So anything I can do to deliver great service, of course, to our shoppers, but save on the shipping saves me money, and that increases my profit margin, increases my profit. So let's talk about it. So USPS Ground Advantage, if you're not aware of this, when you're checking out on desktop, and it may be the same on mobile, I just don't do my shipping from mobile. I will try it next time. I'll just go and check and see what's there. But when you're on your desktop and you're doing your shipping, okay, and you're not doing multi-label, you're doing one at a time, and I encourage you to do perhaps a few one at a time. Whatever you listed in your business policy or your listing as the shipping, so you listed Ground Advantage, or you listed priority mail, or you listed, I'm going to say like medium mail. When you go to ship, typically eBay will default to that. So it'll default to print the label in USPS Ground Advantage, print the label in priority, or whatever. If it has defaulted to USPS Ground Advantage, the first question I've been getting from people is, can I use Sharon's with me, so I know she's going to know the answer to this. Can I use, and I've got some right here with me, can I use priority mail shippers for USPS Ground Advantage? And Sharon, you tell me the answer to this one, because I know you know it. And everybody else too, you can answer. And I'll see your thing. Can I do that? Is it okay, because it is USPS, can I use my priority mail boxes for USPS Ground Advantage? Sharon, excellent. Very good. She says no. Why? These are free shipping supplies from the USPS. They say priority mail on them. And if you look on the site, free priority mail envelopes, boxes are to be used solely for USPS priority mail. So what that means is, if you've been doing a lot of your shipping with, and I've got my little assortment of priority mail things here, let's say padded flat rate envelopes, which by the way are one of my favorite things to have on hand, And what you find is it's less expensive to ship with USPS Ground Advantage, and it will be for a lot of cases, is no, you cannot stick a Ground Advantage label on your flat rate envelope or on your priority mail box. So what that means, what I'm finding, is that I need to keep on hand a larger variety of poly mailers and boxes that I can use for the USPS Ground Advantage, okay? So that's my first tip for you, because we're going into fourth quarter. And if you don't know, fourth quarter is October, November, December. For most sellers, it's probably one of the busiest times of year for you, okay? So one of the ways to be ready is to make sure you have plenty of boxes, nice plain brown box. I got this from recycling. And another nice plain brown box, okay, is to make sure that you have plenty of nice plain brown boxes on hand and poly mailers that you can use for USPS Ground Advantage, because the free priority mail supplies are for priority mail, okay? So that's my first encouragement for you, is if you've been doing a lot of use of priority mail before USPS Ground Advantage, and now you're in Ground Advantage, you're going to want to stock up on poly mailers and boxes that you can use for Ground Advantage, okay? The next thing, and this happened for me just this past week. Hi, Debbie, how are you? You're well prepared for fourth quarter. So glad to hear it. Hi, Marianne. Drives me crazy when sellers use priority padded flat rate envelopes. Yes, another conversation. And when they do, I pull them out and I save them to use correctly. I just lost my train of thought. Okay. So shoppers are looking to save money, right? We all are. That's why, make sure you take a look at the Ground Advantage, okay, and be offering that. All of a sudden, I've gotten very fuzzy. It's like, okay, what's going on? Probably because I'm going around so much. Is make sure there we go. We're doing the autofocus. Like, where's Kathy going? She's moving. Stock up on your boxes and your poly mailers to have them on hand for Ground Advantage, particularly my people that have been using a lot of the free priority mail supplies that are free shipping people, and you're finding that you can save yourself quite a bit of money using the Ground Advantage. And make sure that you switch your listings, eBay Bulk Edit is your friend, that you're offering free USPS Ground Advantage, not free priority, okay? Because if you're offering free priority, you're going to want to deliver free priority. And if you're offering free, and this is what I do, so I offer free USPS Ground Advantage, and if it's to my advantage to upgrade them to priority, I do. Because what you'll find is every now and then, the priority is less money than Ground Advantage. And it's a great opportunity. You put a little note in with your shipping saying, thank you so much for shopping with us. You've been upgraded to priority, right? Everybody loves a free upgrade. And the way this can happen sometime, and I actually did this, if you're not aware of this, on the USPS website, there's a very handy little box called, oops, here we go, the small flat rate box, okay? I discovered this when I used to sell a lot of VHS videos. And if you're a VHS video shipper, you're probably familiar with this box. I assembled one. It's fun. It's like a little puzzle. And this is what it looks like when you put it together. And then you're going to want to tape it, okay? Is sometimes if it's a few items or something that's heavy but small, it'll fit very nicely in this. And it's less money than the Ground Advantage. And this is why when you're shipping, it pays every now and then to sort of audit your shipping. So just click the drop down and look at what eBay's displaying. It has the dimension of your package and the weight. So let's say it's 2 pounds, 3 pounds. And then you'll see the drop down. Ground Advantage, because I believe these are like $8.10 if I remember correctly. The Ground Advantage, let's say, just shows as $9. If I could get it in here, that's a lot cheaper. No, it's not $8.10. That's padded flat rate. Anyway, now I have to look it up. This was last week. It's been that kind of season so far for me this month. The small flat rate will be cheaper than the USPS Ground Advantage. So keep small flat rates on hand. Keep padded flat rates on hand, because again, every now and then this is going to be less money than the Ground Advantage. Why? Ground Advantage is done by zone pricing. I'm in New York. Okay. So people in the middle of the United States, this is going to be different for you. I'm in New York. I'm shipping to California, Washington, sometimes to Texas. This is less money than Ground Advantage because it's so many zones that I'm shipping to. Okay. So keep padded flat rate on hand. All the flat rates keep on hand, but this small flat rate box is really handy. The other thing, it was about 2 pounds because they had bought several items. It went over 2 pounds. The free shipping that was offered was Ground Advantage. So by doing several things together, it went over 2 pounds. If I remember correctly, the single items were like 10 ounces. And then because they bought several, it went over 2 pounds. And I wanted to ship it in a box. I didn't want to put it in a big poly mailer. So I went to weigh it, and I'm in New York, and it was going to, if I remember correctly, Virginia. Okay, so pretty close, not too far, not going to California. So the Ground Advantage price, I'm just going to make up a dollar amount. It was like $9. Okay. Get this, UPS was like 7 and change. So eBay has some really good rates with UPS. So when your things go over a pound or 2 pounds, definitely look at priority because it's going to be depending on where they're going in the United States. Definitely look at your flat rate boxes. Okay. But don't overlook UPS. And I actually shipped something FedEx recently too, because eBay has negotiated us some killer prices. And obviously, if I am shipping UPS or FedEx, I'm not putting it in a priority mailbox, right? I'm putting it in a nice brown box, and I'm using the label. And literally right there in eBay shipping, you're printing out a UPS or FedEx label. For me, dropping mail for UPS or FedEx is quite simple. Okay, I have places very close by to me where I can drop that off. And I want you to make the most money that you possibly can. So I realize this is a little work. And the first couple of times you're checking, like you're checking UPS, you're checking FedEx, you're checking small flat rate. But again, if it's not going to fit in this, I'm not checking it, right? But it's worth it to check the padded because of the zone pricing along with Ground Advantage if I know it's something that's going to fit into the padded flat rate. So stock up on the small flat rate box free on the UPS website. The padded flat rates, okay, because your local post office won't have them typically. The small flat rate, my post office does carry, but every now and then they run out. So I keep a nice supply on hand. And your plain brown boxes. I get mine from Free Cycle. Here in New York City, a lot of us are shopping a lot online. So to find nice free boxes is very easy. And the other thing is I also reuse, because we love to be green here on eBay. Green is money and recycling and repurposing. If it's nice, clean tissue, I reuse it. If it comes to me, because I love to shop on eBay, I reuse it. Why not? I'll stick it in the corner. I'll stuff with it. It's nice. It's clean. There's nothing wrong with it. It's cheerful. I've got a box of this. So I have a box of nice, clean tissue to reuse. I also, in my box, I've got air pillows, right? And I stock up on these going into the holidays. So I have even more in my bin. And I have a big, giant bin full of tissue, air pillows, and bubble wrap. Again, from packages, from neighbors, from Free Cycle, and it gets quite full right before the holidays because I know I'm going to need it. And then and then I use it. Okay. But I really want to encourage you with the USPS Ground Advantage. It is fabulous. It is great. Also, especially for my newer sellers, if you're not aware of this, you do want to print your labels through eBay shipping, not at the post office, because it'll be a lot more money. And you can generate QR codes in eBay shipping and then take that to the post office if you don't have a printer. Do look at the UPS rate for those of you that are shipping things that are starting to go over 2 pounds, 3 pounds. Look at the FedEx rate because there are some killer rates there for eBay sellers that eBay has negotiated for us. I was really surprised by the UPS. I mean, I remember reading, that eBay had negotiated rates for us, and I was like, yeah. They are very, very good. Again, it's zone pricing. So it's going to matter on how heavy the item is and where it's going in the US and where you are. And those of us that are on one coast, the East Coast, and we're shipping to the other coast and vice versa, typically have the most zones that the packages are going through. And same thing if you are Northeast, which I am, and I'm shipping down to Texas or to New Mexico. Same thing for my Northern Californians, and you might be shipping down to Texas or Southern state like Louisiana, Alabama. And for me, sometimes too, I find shipping to Florida, because I'm in New York, it's going all the way down with the zone pricing. And sometimes people will poo-poo like, well, I'm only saving 50 cents, right? I'm only saving 80 cents. However, this is food for thought, is let's say you are saving 50 cents a package by doing this. And let's say it's 3 times a week you find yourself, because you put it in a small flat rate box, or it went into a padded mailer, or you did an upgrade to priority because it was less money than the Grand Advantage, okay? Because it went into a flat rate or something. So let's say you're saving $1.50 a week on your shipping. That's $6 a month times 12. You just got some nice pocket change. That's inventory that you can buy. That's a nice treat for yourself. So don't poo-poo that, because, you know, the whole thing about the little foxes spoil the vine, one of my favorite verses from the Bible, is it adds up. And anytime you have an opportunity to put more money in your pocket, as long as it doesn't take like an hour to figure out, is well worth it. And again, sometimes like the price might be very close. So let's say the Grand Advantage is, I'm just going to make up a dollar amount, is $7.80. The flat rate is $8.10. But let's say putting it in that flat rate box or envelope is much simpler than the Grand Advantage. Plus you're saving the money on the mailer in case you're paying for your poly mailers. Is sometimes when it's only a few cents, it's worth it for the more expensive, or because it's faster. Don't forget, we're going into the holidays. The faster rate, like if I'm shipping media mail, and if it's only a few cents more to ship at first class, especially at the holidays, I'll bump it up as a courtesy to my shopper. So keep an eye on that, particularly the UPS, the FedEx, and the Ground Advantage, bumping it up to priority, because every now and then the priority is less money. Is that nuts? Than Ground Advantage. But I've been very happy with Ground Advantage. I have seen no delay in the shipping. In fact, when I check my feedback, everybody's like, oh, this is great. You know, I'm getting my packages so fast. So it's fantastic. Sharon said she's used them a lot. Good. Everybody's ready. Yes, list. So eBay Open is next week. And depending on when you're listening to this, so eBay Open is September 27th, 28th, and 29th, the online version. And on September 26th, there's various live events in 4 cities, and there's also some seller kickoff parties hosted by sellers around the United States. It's eBay's big mega event. It's super, super fun. And everything is recorded, which is great. So you'll get access to the information, but attending live is super fun. However, it's a lot of information. It's a lot of choices, a lot of workshops, a lot of webinars. So what I'm going to encourage you to do is hop over to my website, ilovetobeselling.com, and grab my free tip sheet. I'm going to be able to talk today, right? Your seller success checklist for eBay Open 2023. It's completely free. I actually presented for the sneak peek event that eBay did for this year's Open, and that was a great honor. But what I've done is I've literally gone through every day and given you some things to think about to help you to make choices. Like, which ones do I want to attend live? Which ones, you know, they'd sound great, but I'm going to attend the recording. If I am attending live, things that can accelerate your results, because that's why we're going, is to accelerate our results for our eBay selling. So do grab it. It's absolutely free. It's my gift to you, your seller success checklist for eBay Open 2023. Good. Michael said he got it. Yay. Oh, and Michael's been shopping. Michael, I've been loving watching the pictures of you while you've been shopping. So good. But grab it, because by going through it, and it should take you maybe 5 minutes to go through the whole thing, is it just helps you to be more focused in attending, so that you don't go through the 3 days or go through some of the live things and go, now, what is it that I wanted to focus on? What was my focus for attending eBay Seller Checklist? Because it goes by very, very fast, and there's so much information. And I want you, give you some tips to help you focus and pick the sessions and the kind of things you want to look at and think about to get ready for eBay Open so that you get the best results for your eBay selling. So grab it. Your Selling Success Checklist for eBay Open 2023. Stock up on all your free shipping supplies. Definitely as you're getting things in the mail, salvage the air pillows and the tissue and everything, right? It's reuse, repurpose, recycle, and you can use it for your shipping, all my wonderful new sellers. And get the small flat rate boxes are super handy. You can even get little collectibles in here because every now and then this is going to be less money for you than the Ground Advantage. And the padded, and stock up on your brown boxes that are not priority mail because those are totally appropriate for USPS Ground Advantage. And do grab the Seller Success Checklist for eBay Open. Thank you for everybody that listens. Thank you for watching me on my Facebook business page. I've got over 4,000 followers now. I so appreciate you. On my YouTube channel, over 8,000 people have subscribed. And if you haven't subscribed, watch my YouTubes and then you just click the subscribe button that's up at the top of the channel. Over 85,000 downloads on my podcast. Thank you for the people that listen to my podcast. I so appreciate you. But do follow, like, download, subscribe. I so appreciate it. And I'm Kathy, and I love to be selling. Bye-bye, everybody.